All right, guys, so welcome back to Trinity Training. This is going to be really cool. This is actually called a 3 tax boxes. And the reason why this is awesome because you could literally just put that on a napkin. You could put that in a sheet of paper, and it's going to tell your client why you're offering the best thing out there. But you start like this. So you ask them a question. Mr. and Mrs. Klein, let me ask you a question. If I could give you an account that has all the good things that you want in it, all the qualifications, what would those things be? What is important for you to have an account so that you feel comfortable putting away your money with us? And usually people will tell you, well, I want to make sure that I have good interest rate. I want to make sure my money grows. Sometimes they tell you, I want to keep my money liquid. I want to have access to it. Sometimes they're going to tell you, I want to make sure I keep it safe. Rarely they're going to tell you about taxes, but some people tell you, I don't want to pay taxes. But those are usually going to be the things that are important to them. If they can't come up with an answer, then you give them an answer. Because sometimes they might say, yeah, you want to make sure I grow my money, but that's all they tell you. Then you ask them a question: is keeping your money safe important to you? And if they say yes, you write it down. How about having access to it instead of being locked up for a long time? Is that important to you? And then they're gonna say, yeah, that's important to me too. Okay, good. Let's write this down. How about taxes? Is that important to you? Do you want to pay taxes on all of it, or maybe just on a little bit? Well, the less taxes better, right? Yeah. Okay. So that's important to you too. Yeah. Okay. Write it down. So you kind of give them the idea, so you have all this breakdown that is right here. Okay. So then you go like this. So let me tell you all the different kinds of accounts that there is out there, okay? That way you could choose based on what the things that you told me that are important, and we could figure out which one's important to you, okay? So there's 3 different places where the government is gonna let you put your money, Mr. Klein. So the first one is called Tax Now. So these are accounts where you're gonna pay taxes every year. This is your checking account at the bank, your savings account at the bank, your CDs, your stocks, your mutual funds, things like that. All those accounts you're gonna be paid taxes on every year, okay? Then there's another type of account that is tax later. So those are accounts that you're gonna pay taxes on later on in the future. Those will be like your 401ks, your 403bs, your IRAs, your traditional IRAs, your KOG plans. I mean, there's a lot of different plans out there that are for retirement that you're gonna not pay taxes now, but you will pay taxes in retirement. And then there's a few accounts that are actually tax exempt. So the way these accounts work, these accounts, it's a 529 plan, a college plan. This is a bond also, so municipal bonds and government bonds. This is also cash value inside of life insurance. Which is pretty cool too. And then the last one is a Roth IRA. So a Roth IRA. So now these are all the different kinds of accounts that exist out there, Mr. Client, that you could put your money into, okay? Now let's go through all your criteria, and we can kind of get rid of some accounts that might not fit in there, okay? So the first thing that was important to you is I wanted to make sure that I'm not gonna lose any, that I make money, okay? So let's get rid of the accounts that don't make you money. So we're gonna get rid of the checking account, the savings account, the CDs, because they only make you maybe 1%, 2% max. Stocks can make you a lot of money. Mutual funds can make you a lot of money. 401ks, 403bs, because they're on the stock market, they can make you a lot of money. All these accounts can make you a lot of money. Bonds won't make you much, but they make you a little bit. But they will not make you a lot of money. Okay. So now we got rid of that. Now let's look at what accounts are liquid. What accounts can I have access to them right away? So these accounts are, you could have access to them. Stocks, you could have access to it. And mutual funds, you could sell the next day and have access to them. So all these accounts are liquid. Now, what about these accounts? So these accounts have something called a 59.5 rule, which means that if you touch your money before 59.5, you're actually gonna get a 10% penalty, and you're gonna have to pay tax on the money, but you're gonna get penalized on that money. So you actually don't really have access to it without any penalties until you're 59.5. So if you wanna have access to your money soon, then there goes all these accounts. Does that make sense? Yeah. Now let's talk about keeping it safe. Now if you wanna keep, now what about this ones? So this one, the 529 plan, you actually don't have access to it. It's not liquid because it's actually a college fund only. So if you get it out for anything that is not for college, you're actually gonna get penalized and taxes on that too. Now the cash value inside of life insurance, that is something that you could have access to it depending on how you fund it, usually after year number 2. And the Roth IRA has the same rules, so there goes the Roth IRA, okay? So now we know what accounts can make us good interest rate, but we got rid of the accounts that are not liquid. So now let's see what accounts are safe, what accounts give you a guarantee not to lose money. So if we're gonna get rid of those accounts, this one's safe, this one's safe, this one's safe. Stocks are not safe. Mutual funds are not safe because they're in the stock market. The same thing with 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, all these accounts are in the stock market, so they have no safety at all. How about 529 plans? Well, 529s are in the stock market, so they're not safe either. Bonds are pretty safe, but we already got rid of bonds because they're not gonna give us a lot of interest rate. So the only thing that is left is cash value inside of a life insurance. That's pretty safe because it has a guarantee if you do an index account where you're never gonna lose any money. So which is pretty cool. The Roth IRA is in the stock market, so you do lose money there too, depending how aggressive you are. And then the last one is taxes. So obviously taxes gets rid of all this and all this because you are gonna pay taxes, but tax exempt are only this type of accounts. So Mr. and Mrs. Klein, if you're gonna start investing some money based on the things that you told me that are important to you, then the cash value life insurance is actually your better option because you could make good money, you could have access to it, you don't have to wait until you're 59 and a half. It's safe, it has a guarantee not to lose money, and all the growth could be tax exempt also. So does that make sense? So this is why we believe that cash value life insurance, the IUL, is actually the best product out there to invest your money. Does that make sense? Yeah, great, cool.